So, hello everyone, and good afternoon. My name is Jeremy Holston. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I am the director here at the Illinois LGBT Chamber of Commerce. We are super excited to have all of you here with us for our today's discussion, LGBTBE, now what? Before we dive in hearing from our awesome speakers, I'm excited to tell you just a little bit more about who we are as the Chamber, if by chance this is your first time joining us. So this year, our Chamber has the great fortune to now be celebrating 25 years of supporting LGBTQ and ally-owned businesses like yours. Of course, there's an awesome train going by. So LGBTQ businesses, we are now 25 years old. Today we have about 300 member businesses across Illinois. Those members serve in industries likely similar to yours. Today, most of our members thrive in B2B, our professional services, in accounting, legal, communications, healthcare, construction, therapy, swag, branded materials, and so many other unique services. And so today, we're excited to help you learn more about how to leverage the LGBT business enterprise certification that you already have or the one that you will soon be completing. In addition to helping folks get connected to the certification, our chamber also offers a variety of resources in terms of networking, professional development, and also marketing opportunities. I hope that all of you will join us for some upcoming events that we'll soon be hosting. You may have seen that on August 23rd, we'll be hosting our annual boat cruise out on the lake, 3 hours on Lake Michigan. Great networking, great relationship building, while also being able to enjoy a great dinner and an open bar as well. Right now, we do have early bird discounted tickets available until Saturday or tomorrow. I think one of these days. If you try to go and purchase your ticket Saturday and it does not give you that early bird discount, feel free to reach out to me directly and I will make that happen for you. In addition, on September 22nd, 23rd, is when we are hosting our Illinois LGBTQ Business Summit. So if you are someone attending today's workshop, then you definitely want to be at the summit. On the 22nd, we'll have a day of workshops and some best practices of information for you to leverage in your business. And then on 23rd, we'll be hosting our keynote lunch panel, a matchmaking event, as well as our annual pitch competition. So if you're looking to win some dollars to invest into your business, or even just looking to get some great exposure, which is what great pitch competitions are all about, then I definitely hope that you will join us for those opportunities. And then also just be sure to visit the event calendar for more details. And then finally, we are soon launching the 3rd cohort of our LGBTQ Biz Bootcamp. This is an 8-week program for LGBTQ entrepreneurs who are somewhat already working in their business, but need to add some strategy behind that work. And so in this program, you will go through putting together your business plan, your business presentation deck. Throughout the time, you'll access guest speakers and mentors, and then we'll, at the end, have one chance to compete for $1,000 to invest into your business. So it's a free program. Applications will launch soon, so definitely be on the lookout for those details. So now, what we're all really here for, which is to talk about LGBTBE now what, which is again really helping you think about how to leverage your LGBT enterprise certification. So today we have with us 3 great partners and members who will help provide some insight on what this process looks like. We'll hear from each of them here in a moment, but today we're joined by Jada Watson, representative from the National LGBT Chamber of Commerce, Ariel Santillan, representing our corporate partner and today's sponsor at Federal Home Loan Bank of Chicago, and then Jonathan Hart from Big Mouth Creative, who will talk about his own experience as being a certified LGBT business. And so I'm going to switch slides. And then Jada, we're going to have you kick it off with us, speaking on behalf of the National LGBT Chamber of Commerce. And so, Jada, if you kick it off, I will bring your slide up here for you.
Awesome. I will pull up my slides.
I'll pull it up for you. And
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just stay next and I'll go for you.
Nice.
Can you see?
Yes, yeah, you can see it. Okay. So hi, my name is Jada Watson. I'm the manager of supplier diversity at the NGLCC. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm going to talk to you all a little bit about the next steps that you can take now that you are certified and moving forward with the process with your certification. So a little bit about the NGLCC. The NGLCC is the business voice of the LGBT community. We were founded in 2002 by Justin Nelson and Chance Mitchell. And in 2004, they created the Supplier Diversity Initiative, which is the department I work for, which helps certify LGBT businesses. So we walk you all through the process of certifying your business and help you throughout the certification process and hopefully help you afterwards to help gain the most out of your certification as well. And in 2014, the NGLCC Global Division was established. And we have 75 affiliate chambers, both domestically and internationally. And the NGLCC is the exclusive certifying body for LGBT-owned businesses. So when you are certified, you're part of an exclusive group. So it's really great to be a part of this organization in this community. And we also host the largest LGBT business event in the world, our International Business and Leadership Conference, which we'll be hosting hopefully in 2022. So hopefully you all can look up more details on our website, on our events page for that. So we have over 340 corporate partners. So these are corporate partners that all support the LGBT certification, and they are the ones that you will be connecting with that are directly involved with engaging in our certification process and also being a part of networking within the LGBT community to help build that community and get more business towards the LGBT community as a whole. So some of the benefits, this is like an overview of the benefits and kind of like what we're going to talk about a little bit further on to the presentation. So some of the benefits are that you receive national recognition by our corporate partners and by certified suppliers and government stakeholders. So by being certified, you're being seen as an LGBT-owned company, and you have that recognition by the organizations and the companies that recognize it. And that recognition is growing. So the more businesses that we have certified, the more that recognition will grow and that notoriety will grow. So it's important to certify your business to not only just be seen as an LGBT-owned business, but also be counted in showing the economic impact that LGBT-owned companies have on the economy as a whole, so that it'll show that we have more leverage within the economy than may be seen right now based on the number of businesses certified. So it's always important to get involved and be certified as well. You also gain access to our logos, which we'll talk about a little bit more. So you get to use them on different marketing materials and different places to hopefully help bring that diversity and help show that you are a diverse owned business. And we have matchmaker events and our International Business Leadership Conference, which is a great networking opportunity as well. So another department here at the NGLCC, kind of separate from our supply diversity team, but also a part of it because we all work together interconnectedly, is our stakeholder engagement center. So they identify companies for opportunities when they arise. So they'll receive requests from government stakeholders or corporate partners, and they'll send those partners the information of suppliers that meet those requests. And those requests are based on capabilities and industries and whatnot that the company is looking for. So we'll talk a little bit more, but when you when our stakeholder engagement center is looking for companies, they're always looking through our database. So it's the information that you provide in your business profile. So it's always important to keep that information up to date so you're accurately identified for these opportunities so that you don't miss out when we receive these requests. Also, our stakeholder engagement center handles our matchmaking events. So our matchmaking events are a really cool meeting between you and either a corporate partner or another supplier. So it's a great one-on-one meeting with those businesses to hopefully get your foot in the door and hopefully build those connections. And they also, our stakeholder engagement center also alerts companies for tiered contracting, which we'll also talk more about later on as well. So working with corporations, so corporate partners within the portal, when you go to the MyNGLCC and you look at the search tool and go through the database, you'll be able to have access to over 340 corporate partners and their information and over 1,700 certified suppliers. So for the people listed under the corporate partners contact, those people are usually the person within the organization that is pushing for supplier diversity and not necessarily the person who's in charge of purchasing or buying or selling at the corporation. So it's always important to keep that in mind when you're reaching out to them because they're your advocate for linking you to the correct person within the organization or the company that you're looking to work with. So it's important to just keep that in mind as you're reaching out. And so this person's also not responsible for final purchasing decisions. So making that aware when you're reaching out and what you're writing in your email and how you're contacting them and having that at the forefront of your mind when you're reaching out to them. So based on like what we were talking about with the Stakeholder Engagement Center, how they identify companies based on the information in your business profile, I highly recommend going to your MyNGLCC as soon as possible and updating it and making sure that all the information is up to date and relevant. A lot of information isn't always, I guess, like updated within your profile. So a lot of businesses don't always add annual revenue. However, that's something fairly big that corporations look for because they'll ask us, okay, what's the company's revenue? Are they able to handle this contract? And a lot of times we don't have that information on hand. So it may slow down the process or it may cause you to not have the opportunity come your way. So definitely making sure that your annual revenue is highlighted within that section, making sure your NAIC and UNSPSC codes are updated, and just making sure all your information is up to date. There is also a section that you can add a YouTube pitch, which is really great because you can add an elevator pitch essentially to your profile. So when someone sees it, they can actually look at your pitch and see who you are and what you do, and they're able to engage more about your company as well. So it's really great to utilize that tool also. So certification, as a reminder, it's the starting line. So it's not the end all goal. So when you get certified, it doesn't mean that contracts are going to just start flying your way. It just means that you're getting your foot in the door and being seen by these corporations. So majority of getting contracts is mostly about steps. So it's mostly about laying the groundwork towards getting those contracts. So networking, going to different events like these events put on by your chamber, being more engaged within your chamber. Those are the parts that you need to work towards to get that contract. So the certification is just getting you in the door and letting you be seen by these corporations that look for the diverse spend that they're hoping to purchase from your business. So again, it's important to build connections. So network, that's your biggest tool to get a contract essentially, is building your network and making these personal relationships with these corporate partners or with other certified businesses that you can team up with. It's really important to make sure that you're not just thinking that because you have your certification, you're automatically going to get a contract. Again, it's not one overnight. It's not automatic. So it's important to just build these relationships and make sure that you have that personal connection with these supplier diversity professionals so that they will be able to keep you in the back of their mind when they're thinking about contracting with someone because of that personal relationship you've built with them. So it definitely helps along the road. So contracts are usually 6 months down the line and not necessarily the next day after you are certified. So again, certification starts the dialogue. It opens the door, but it doesn't necessarily get you through the door. So a quality and competitive bid wins the contract. So making sure that your business is capable to meet the company's needs that they are asking for, and making sure that you are thinking about what company fits your business's, I guess, capabilities. So who is your ideal client or customer? So making sure that you're just really doing the groundwork and laying the foundations for getting those contracts, just so you make sure that everything is already there, so that this certification isn't just pretty much a cherry on top of all the things that you've already put in progress. So again, know your company, the company you're approaching. So know who your client is and who your ideal client is, and targeting that client. So you wouldn't try to contract with IBM if you sell t-shirts. You would probably target Target. So making sure that you have that in mind of who is your like ideal client and who will actually be able to purchase your product, and making sure that you are targeting them. So through our database of 340 corporate partners, there may only be about like, I don't know, 5 to 20 businesses that can actually you can actually work with for what your company provides. So making sure that you're thinking about that and keeping that in mind, and targeting those companies individually and personally, and not sending out mass marketing to all 340 corporate partners, but really narrowing down your search and doing the groundwork to see who is your ideal client. And also through the database, there is an opportunity to sign up for a vendor registration portal with that corporation. Not all of them have a vendor registration portal, so you'll want to keep that in mind. But before reaching out to them, just checking through the database to see if they have a portal that you can register with, so that they know and know that you've put in the groundwork and have registered with them prior to reaching out. Because a lot of times they'll ask if you've registered ahead of time, just so they know a little bit more about your company and a little bit more about you, and you're already registered with them, so they have that information about you. Another thing is to practice your pitch and have a capability statement. Your capability statement should be 2 pages max, but ideally 1 page. And practicing your pitch is always ideal. So making sure your elevator pitch is ready to go when you meet with a corporate partner or another certified supplier. It's always good to just have that groundwork ahead of time, because if you're going into a pitch and you've been talking for 10 minutes, but you haven't said what your business does or what your business capabilities is, a corporation or another certified supplier or purchaser may have already kind of tuned out because they don't really know what you're doing. So it's great to start out sharing that information and getting that in like the conversation ahead of time, just so they know what you're reaching out to them about and what you can bring to the table as well. And that leads to the next slide. So be persistent. So like after you've had, but don't be a pest. So after you've had a conversation with these corporate partners or other businesses, make sure that you're reaching out to them in a way that you would want to be reached out to. So putting yourself in their shoes, because a lot of times you may think, oh, I should contact them the day after. But that's not always the case for the best scenario, because they're already receiving a bunch of emails, a bunch of requests from from a lot of people. So it's important to just keep in mind, maybe like slowly but surely pacing yourself within that connection, and maybe reaching out a couple of weeks later to say, hey, I had a great conversation with you. I would love to like reach out and connect and learn more about how we can work together. And hopefully doing that a little bit later on down the line, so it doesn't seem like you're already contacting them and they've just had a conversation with you the day before. So just making sure, because we all get a bunch of emails, we all have like a lot of requests, and keeping that in mind about how you feel if you were that person as well. So how do you measure success? A lot of people think that certification is the main reason for measuring success, because you'll automatically get a contract. However, with the certification, there are so many other benefits to it. So there's programming that's available, there's events, There's a lot of business development opportunities and learning development opportunities. So really taking advantage of all the other tools in the toolbox and making sure that you're utilizing your certification to get more than just a contract and more on developing your business and expanding it, and hopefully learning more skills and partnering and networking with people that you might not have been able to network before without the certification. So the certification helps you have this network that you're able to utilize to hopefully benefit. So making sure that you're seeing the big picture and utilizing all the different tools in the toolbox as well. So we'll talk a little bit more about the programs also in the presentation. And also a big part of that is staying engaged locally. So staying engaged with the Illinois Chamber and going to events and networking within the chamber and connecting with your local businesses or local corporate partners, because a lot of the like networking and engagement opportunities happen on the local level because there are just so many more opportunities available. And it's important to utilize those as well, because you are able to be certified because with your affiliate chamber membership, your application fee is waived for recertification or certification. So it's important to utilize this benefit of having your local certification or local chamber membership and your national certification, and utilizing it to hopefully get the benefit of both. So as I said before, utilizing the logos, they're really great to use on your products. If you have a product that you can place that logo on, we have a chocolate company that uses it in their products. And it's really great for people who purchase your product to see that you're a diverse owned business. So they automatically know that you're an LGBT owned business, and they would want to support your business and see that you are that diversity spend they're looking for. And utilizing it in your website or email signature and business cards are also other ways you can use it as well. And also, when you think about contracting, a lot of companies think about just tier 1 contract and just the direct contract you get with the corporation. However, it's really great to think about also being a tier 2 contract if you can't handle what the company may be requesting on your own. So if it exceeds your capabilities, maybe teaming up with another company to team up for a tier 2 contract to hopefully build that connection with that other business that you're working with. So if they get a contract, they might think about you in turn for teaming up for that contract as well. And also as a tier 2 contract, you also have the opportunity to work on multiple contracts at once, hopefully, because you're able to provide that specific thing. So it's a lot of things to keep in mind, but also just remembering that it's a great opportunity to look for and work on tier 2 contracts as well as a tier 1 contract. And that's not the sole goal. So take advantage of NGLCC's programming. So this is the business development portion of your certification. So these are the things that are also available to you in addition to the network that's also available on our database and the events and whatnot and your certification. So we have a mentorship program. If you've been certified for a year, you are eligible to join our mentorship program. So it's a growth and success program, hopefully geared towards connecting our certified suppliers with corporate partners or other businesses, seasoned businesses that have been certified for a while. And they'll mentor you for a year to hopefully build your business and hopefully build your lead you in the right path of your entrepreneurial journey and hopefully hit your goals that you are looking to achieve. So it's a really great program. It's really great also just to build your network and hopefully build that connection with someone to help you achieve the goals that you're looking for. So if you want to join our mentorship program and be a part of it, you can email us at mentorship@nglc.org. And then we also have other programmings. So we have webinar Wednesdays, which are twice monthly. They're really great for business development and learning different skills. We had a webinar on LinkedIn and how to utilize it to hopefully leverage it in your business's needs. And it's really great just as an individual to learn more about leveraging it. And there are a lot of different business development educational opportunities there. We also have Sip and Pitch Fridays, which kind of go into improving your pitch. So our Sip and Pitch Fridays are one Friday every month. So you get to pitch your elevator pitch in front of corporate partners, and they'll provide feedback about your pitch and help you improve it and season it. And some people have also built connections off of that with those corporate partners. So it's really great to attend, even if you just want to sit and attend and watch others pitch and learn and take notes. It's also great to attend as well. And then we have matchmakers, which we're hosting monthly. And so it's geared towards different commodities and growth areas. So I encourage you to keep an eye on your emails. Our engagement center would send out emails if your industry is being highlighted for these matchmaking events. And it's a really cool one-on-one session that you get to sit down with a corporate partner for about 30 minutes or so. And you get that one-on-one connection to talk about your business and to hopefully pitch your idea, your elevator pitch, and get your foot in the door and share more about yourself and your business. And then we have our Accelerate program. It's really great. We started it during last year in 2020, and it is an executive level training program. So you get to learn from like Fortune 500 companies or from the owners of those companies or from professors or whatnot to learn more about business development and how to improve your business. It's a really great program. And then we have our Communities of Color initiative, and it's a great opportunity if you are a business owner of color. You can join the Communities of Color, and they have, similar to our TGNC task force, which I'll talk about next as well, they have programming for the Communities of Color initiative. So there's a matchmaker event coming up soon for our Communities of Color. There's different programming that's offered as well. So if you're interested, you can email us at coachy@nglcc.org. And then we have our TGNC task force, which is our transgender and gender nonconforming task force that is geared to help our TGNC members get the most out of their certification and also in their entrepreneurial journey. So we have a mentorship committee that helps with mentoring our TGNC business owners. And then we also have other programming as well as matchmakers and whatnot tailored for our TGNC business owners as well. So for more information on how to join or getting more involved, you can email us at transinclusion@nglc.org or check out our website. And then we have our industry councils. So these are target industries that we have highlighted to target and hopefully bring more light on. So we have matchmaker events specifically for these industries. So food and beverage, we had one recently a couple months ago, and we're going to have a matchmaking event for our legal industry and our pharma industry coming up. So it's a really great program. If you're interested, just emailing us at info@nglc.org about these councils. And lastly, on the screen, you can see my information. So if you have any questions or would like to learn more about anything presented today or about the certification process and how to get more involved, if you are interested in certifying your business, so if you are already certified and would just like to learn more, you can email me at jwatson@nglc.org for any questions.
Thank you, Jacob. So everyone, we will do questions at the very end. Jada hopefully has shared her email address in the contact box also, so you can follow up with her there. So next, Maria, we'll go to you. We'll pull up your PowerPoint. So feel free to get started.
Great, thank you. Okay, we can move on to the introduction slide. Hi, everyone. My name is Maria Santillan. My pronouns are she, her. I am representing the Federal Home Loan Bank of Chicago today. I am the Supplier Diversity Program Manager. I've been with the bank for about 7 years now, and more recently taking on the role in our Supplier Diversity Program. I've been mostly for that time at the bank, mostly on the supplier side, vendor management, and strategic sourcing, but very excited to taking on this additional role and supporting compliance and regulatory side of things as well, but engaging with different businesses like yours today. Fun fact, yep, I'm a Chicago native, and so I was able to finish in Chicago Marathon, half, and triathlon. Not anytime recently, but in past lives. Next slide, please. So a little bit about the bank. We are chartered by US Congress in 1932, and as of today, we have 11 district banks. And so we operate independently, but we do lean on each other in different working groups. And I'm part of 2 of them for vendor management and then also supplier diversity. And so Chicago, we have districts for Wisconsin and for Illinois. Next slide, please. So very briefly about what we do, we're, to boil it down, we're a bank for other banks. So when a consumer or a person goes to a bank for a loan, that bank is often funded by another institution. And so the Federal Home Loan Bank system is an option for them. But one caveat here is that I want to at least promote that we look for all different types of services. So we just started returning back to the office. We have residents in the old post office downtown in the West Loop. And so we have a variety of services that we would want, from suppliers, from professional service, staff augmentation, to catering, food services, a really broad spectrum that we engage suppliers for. So if you're not sure if you would be a fit, I'd say still register with us, and we'll see what we can do. Next slide, please. So our members are other banks, but they're also insurance companies and credit unions as well. And those are what we would consider our members. They, somewhat like a co-op, they invest into the bank. And on the next slide, how supplier diversity is set up for us, for Chicago, is there is a separate organization headed by our Chief Diversity and Equity and Inclusion Officer. And then it's supported by a number of different working groups, employee resource groups. I myself am part of the supplier diversity group, but we partner with workforce and culture, community, and capital markets to see how we can create diversity opportunities in each of those topic areas. So we meet fairly frequently, and all of those initiatives tie back into bank strategic goals. Next slide, please. So very simply, we try to be inclusive of diverse-owned businesses. We've been fairly active in this for a number of years now, partnering with the LGBT Chamber of Commerce and the other diverse councils that we partner with as well. Trying to, on the procurement side, form these relationships so that we can meet organizations like yours and engage you on sourcing events that we have here at the bank. Next slide, please. So this next slide is just going to talk about what our initiatives are for 2021. The top 4 that we have are, we work with those decision makers and sharing with them the spend that they've had over the past couple of years, being non-diverse suppliers and diverse suppliers, and seeing where we could have opportunities to source and create RFP type of events for engaging a new supplier at the bank. Second, we have internal discussions where we work with different departments, whether they have these town hall type meetings or their normal staff meetings, just to keep supplier diversity at the forefront of their minds when those decision makers are find a need. And the members that we serve in Wisconsin and Illinois, we also want to support them as well and their supplier diversity initiatives. So we're looking inward about what things have gone well for the bank and what we can improve, and sharing that feedback to our members as well. And number 4 is somewhat keying off of number 1, is we're trying to understand what the pain points were of the supplier diversity so far, but then sharing the actual numbers and what we can do to get a commitment from executive team that they are going to push down to managers that there should be opportunities for posting sourcing events and not just renewing with existing suppliers. Let's see where we can create opportunity. Next slide, please. This is just a high-level overview of what happens at the bank. Is there's a sourcing need that's identified. We do encourage posting to our website as well as our social media for those. And ultimately, the best supplier is a good fit for the bank is picked. But what happens in there is we're either engaging our supplier diversity councils, we're looking at what our registration portal, we're looking at that database that we have, and we're providing those managers with a list of candidates for them to review. So tagging off of what Jada had mentioned previously, there are a number of things that she mentioned that rang true for the bank, that we hope that you're updating your profile. It's like when you certify, and as well as when you register with us individually at the bank, because it's critical for our managers to be able to search and do that easily and be able to find you. Next slide, please. So the best way to stay connected with us is following us on social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, and our website. So both LinkedIn and Twitter and Facebook, they'll point you back to our website, but they'll have, these logos of, the hands. They'll talk about the sourcing opportunity, but with limited character limitations, they'll just point you back to the website, and the website will have more detail of how to get connected with us. Next slide, please. And we're fairly new to the registration game, but as of earlier this year, we do have a portal on our website for vendors to register. And it includes being able to upload a capability statement and a free-form text box for describing what your business does and what your service offerings are. And I'll stress that having that to be as detailed as possible to cast a wide net for our business owners to be able to find you is greatly appreciated. The next two slides really just go into examples of capability statements, but I think we can skip to slide 15 and we can get into why we're here and what I wanted to share about how we use certification here at the bank, and how you can use it as well. So for us, we've made a commitment to engaging and considering diverse suppliers on all of our sourcing events. And that's been echoed from the top down. It's something, messaging, it's part of our mission to support diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, supplier diversity being a segment of that. And that continues to be pushed down fairly regularly throughout the bank, communication-wise. And what we do at the bank is we accept both certification through a diverse council or self-attestation. And that could be through an email that we send you saying that at least 50% ownership of your business aligns with a diverse category. And we will follow up with you on an annual basis to see if anything changed. If you provided us with certification and it expires after that year, do we have the most current one on file? So I think for us, somewhat unique situation is that we do accept suppliers that maybe you're in process of certifying and you want to be able to participate in a sourcing event that's open. That's okay. And you can leverage the self-attestation process until you get certified. And for those, we know that small businesses, it may be, there may be some barriers to getting certified for whatever reason. Self-attestation is an option. And for us, we're in more of an infancy or very early stages of data gathering and reporting to upper management of what the supplier diversity spend is at the bank. And that's an area that I want to grow, because I believe that sharing that with those decision makers will help to challenge them on future opportunities, seeing that this is an area that we could we go to the same suppliers all the time. That's okay too, but let's see what we can do to take this out to bid. See if we can get create an opportunity. So that's still in the early stages, but something that we're going to drive and push forward. And managers will have access to our database. So once you register, and that's where the importance of having your description, your profile as descriptive as possible and as up to date as possible, is because we're trying to leverage somewhat of a self-service model where the managers can go searching within our database for potential suppliers, and then they work with our vendor management group to kind of project manage that along the way. But that initial search should be easy for them. If they have to dig too far, they may miss out on your organization. So something that Jada had mentioned too of the tier 2, that's something that that the bank reports on as well. So if it's not you that we engage directly, are you partnering with someone where we could technically count you as a tier 2? That would be very helpful for us. And because we're trying to move into that direction of collecting that level of reporting. I've already mentioned the registration of the website, or at least on our website, but also on yours. Sometimes our vendor management team will also support the business in doing a search for different suppliers. And if we go to your website, maybe it was through some referral, we're hoping that we can find a clear description of what your organization does, but then also the advertising of your certification is very helpful for us to be able to reach out to you as well. Yeah, Jada touched on that. Make sure your information is up to date with the councils as well. And the last note, this is more like if you're close to being with the bank, again, we're committed to supplier diversity. Make sure your information is up to date. And we do leverage ACH payments. So I'll just reaffirming what's already been said between Jada and myself. But if you have any questions, I have my contact information as well as our vendor management group's information. Jeremy, if you can go to the slide 17, but also links to our social media. Thank you. Where you can follow us. That'll be the first place where you'll be able to see as soon as anything sourcing related is posted. So I appreciate your time today.
Thank you, Maria. Greatly appreciate that. So I'm going to stop sharing because this is not working for me. So Jonathan, I'm going to let you share your screen. And then you can bring up your presentation. Look, everyone, we will do questions at the very end. Again, if we don't have a lot of time for it, again, everyone has shared their contact information in the slides. And then Maria, if you could also be sure to just drop your contact information in the chat box. And then Jacob, also be sure to do that as well.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up. Is it me next? I still have disabled screen sharing, so. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Let me pull that up real quick. Okay. Well, first of all, thank you, Jeremy, and the LGBT Chamber of Commerce for having me today. My name is Jonathan Hart. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I'm owner and design director at Big Mouth Creative. So who's Big Mouth Creative? We aim to help brands struggling to tell their unique story across various marketing activations. So to do that, we use storytelling and thoughtful design to create successful brand strategies, identity systems, communications, and also creative services. So brand strategy and design is at the core of everything we do, but if you're looking for a marketing partner, we offer full services for the right fit. If you're interested in the full range of services we offer, you can check out our website at bigmouthcreative.com. So a little bit of background. I started Big Mouth in 2018 with a partner who left in early 2020. Around that time, we had a bit of our own brand shift that involved coming to terms with what we're truly about. We knew that being purpose and mission driven was the type of business we wanted to build. And being a veteran of big agencies here in Chicago, I've been at quite a few, I knew I wanted to define an agency model and processes that were about fostering happy people and happy working environments and enabling, probably most importantly, a culture of respect. So hopefully in the process of doing all of that, we could make our little corner of the world a better place. I think no matter if you own your own business, if you're a leader in another setting, or if you've experienced adversity or inequitable working environments in your own career growth, we must acknowledge that who we are is how we lead. And how we lead is relevant at every stage in the hierarchy of an organization, in our personal lives and relationships, and how we interact with the greater world around us. So back at the start of 2020, Big Mouth was faced with the question of, who are we? So the very first thing we did, and what we tell all clients to do when starting to understand who they are and how they lead or what their brand is to put core values on paper. So when talking about core values with our clients, we often show them this graphic. Everything a brand does across marketing activations and the like builds upon their brand platform. And at the very, very core of this, that dark red circle in the middle is the values, the core values. These are what drive the ship, what the brand believes in, what's important to those who help create the brand, and often why the brand exists in the first place. Even for personal brands, and we all have one of those, whether we've developed them or not, core values help define how we act in normal times and how we react to adversity in difficult times. I said at a speech here recently, in fact, our worst moments as humans happen when our words, thoughts, and behaviors are misaligned with our core values. So these core values had to be at the very foundation of everything Big Mouth does and must guide every new business decision we make. I am a gay identifying man, and there's an amount of my own authentic self I had to dig into once I began to step into these new opportunities to lead. And further, as a leader at Big Mouth, I wanted to ensure that I lead by example and enable our employees to be their authentic selves from the moment they show up at work. So we actually have 7 core values. I won't kind of go into detail about all of them that we've defined, but those are communication, respect, balance, authorship, collaboration, effort, and stewardship. And I know this is a lot of background, but I promise I'm getting there. So now that we have this platform of who we are and how we lead, the next logical step for Big Mouth was to get LGBT Business Enterprise certified. And wow, I can't even begin to tell you how much I didn't anticipate the visibility that being a certified LGBT business enterprise could bring. At first I will admit, a mild sense of fear about being the face of Big Mouth as an LGBTBE. But I think once I really kind of dug into it, that it had less to do with the fear of being out to clients and more to do with being in a position of leadership as a white cisgender male advocating for marginalized voices. But the opportunities that I've been afforded as an LGBT business owner have reminded me that privilege is only a bad thing if you don't use it to break down those systems of inequity and oppression. And it's only been within my lifetime that brave LGBT leaders have paved the path that I now walk on pretty comfortably. So it's my duty to forge new paths for myself and for those leaders yet to come. And how that's impacted my business has been in ways that I never expected. My initial goal and what I was hoping to get out of being a member of the LGBTCC was to meet other like-minded entrepreneurs, maybe a few clients here and there. And I've definitely done some of those things, but I've also built some amazing friendships with some of the other business owners that have forced me to grow as an entrepreneur. back when we got certification, I imagined that sort of like my own identity, being an LGBTBE was just an aspect of Big Mouth, that it didn't fully define who we are as an agency. I expected we'd stick to those core values 90% of the time, but 10% of the time, you know, it would be that one client who's just signing the checks and keeping the lights on. Instead, I've discovered that it can define us, but more as a business that operates in this amazing intersectional world of people and businesses that want to make a world a better place. Being an active member of the Chamber helps me look at things holistically and helps us define what our role as an LGBT business is in the greater world. If I'm rooted in what I am, we serve that purpose for other people. Big Mouth now actually has a policy that we only take on work if it meets the 4 Fs. Those Fs are fit, fun, fortune, and fame. While the latter 3, fun, fortune, and fame, need to be kind of present to some degree, fit for us is a non-negotiable. We want to work with clients that value the same things that we value. So, for example, Big Mouth gives 5% of work signed to one of 3 charities that we allow the client to choose. So if a client asks for a 5% discount instead of giving to a charity, we know that the fit isn't right. So usually we'll turn down that work. We're currently agency of record actually for Pride Candle Company, an out and proud member of the Chamber who I think actually just got their certification about a month ago. And they also give 10% of profits to an LGBT charity each quarter. So this opportunity, this great opportunity we got through the Chamber, not only allows us to work with a value-aligned company, but it allows us to showcase an LGBT-owned brand to the world. And honestly, when I go to sleep at night, that's one of the things that I'm most proud of. And beyond just who we work with as clients directly, like Pride Candle Company, an extremely important facet for us of being an LGBTBE is to prioritize working with other diverse suppliers. To us, their experiences are valuable, and it's important to bring that to the world and the work we do. I know that working with diverse suppliers, we're going to build stronger relationships and ultimately deliver to our clients a service that comes from something that is authentic and inspired. And that's incredibly important to a business that preaches brand. So over the past year, we've started to develop internal guidelines for not only the type of clients that we work with, those 4 Fs, but how we work with them. So for example, we work very closely with the Chicago Department of Public Health on value-aligned projects that go beyond helping improve the state of public health in the city, but also improve the state of health equity in the city. So this past spring, we got to work on a really great project with them. We helped them develop a look and feel for their State of Black Health report and develop marketing materials around its launch. So it was very important to us as we were scoping and putting forth a proposal for that project that we built in engaging a DEI and anti-racism consultant as part of our proposal to make sure that our approach to the project was thoughtful and appropriate. We also worked with a Black photographer for the photos that we featured in the report to ensure that the images throughout the report captured lived experiences in Chicago that complemented the data that we were showcasing. And I'm not sure if it weren't for our relationship with the Chamber, and honestly, Jeremy in particular, thank you for your help. If it weren't for that, I'm not sure that we would know as a business how to go about searching for other diverse suppliers. We're actually currently working on another project now with the city to develop welcome baby kits available at select hospitals in Chicago communities. That it includes a booklet, some diapers, some formula, all kinds of great stuff like that. And it's going to be in a tote bag, an insulated tote bag. And we're actually working with another LGBTBE, Townie Branding, to source the bags for that project. So some really great things that we're getting to do with them. So in short, becoming an LGBTBE has really enriched what Big Mouth is as an agency and what we bring to the world. And it enables us to live authentically. And that's honestly one of the most important things to us as both employees and friends, and drive connections with our clients and our partners. And along the way, we've gotten a few clients and strengthened our new business pipeline for sure. So if anybody has any questions, I actually have a hard stop at 2, so I'm going to have to jump off before our question and answers. But if you have any questions for me, or you want to talk about a little bit more about what being an LGBTBE means to Big Mouth, feel free to reach out to us. This is our contact information here. And thank you so much for your time today.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jonathan. And